Hi all, welcome to my channel SST Corner for Grade 10. Today we are going to discuss a very important chapter, the second part of the chapter, Nationalism in India. So we'll be seeing the differing strands within the movement in the towns, rebellion in the countryside, and the Swaraj in the plantations. In the last part, we saw that non-cooperation movement was adopted. Now we are going to continue that. Now what happened means in January 1921, this non-cooperation movement was successfully started. Now various people of our country started participating in the movement. Now what happened means the movement in the towns. Now the non-cooperation movement, how it responded in the towns. Now, this movement started with the participation of the middle class people. Now, thousands of students left their schools and colleges, and many of them resigned their jobs. And these lawyers stopped their legal practices. Now, everyone boycotted foreign goods. Now, Mahatma Gandhi said to boycott foreign goods, surrender their titles, and boycott civil services. Civil services means like council elections. But this Justice Party cannot they cannot boycott council elections. The Justice Party of Madras, because they felt that entering the council was one way of gaining some power. This party was made up of fully non-Brahmins. Now, before we continuing with the story, we have to understand some two terms, that is boycott and picketing. Boycott means stop using something, in this chapter foreign goods. Now picketing means restricting entry by blocking the entrance. See the picture, you will be clear. Now, the effects of non-cooperation on the economic front were dramatic. Now, what happened means Mahatma Gandhi said only to boycott. That means not only to not use this foreign goods, but our Indian people started burning the foreign cloth. That slightly became violent. Now, now everyone started boycotting. As they were boycotting, the import of foreign cloth halved between 1921 and 1922. No, in many places, merchants and traders refused to trade in foreign goods. Now, what happened means Mahatma Gandhi said to use khadi as it was an Indian good. So many people did not use. That means rich people used, but poor people cannot use because khadi was expensive. So everyone cannot buy. That is one drawback. Now, next, what drawback means? If students started going to their institutions, their schools and colleges. Similarly, the boycott of British institutions posed a problem. For the movement to be successful, alternative Indian institutions had to be set up so that they could be used in place of the British ones. They were slow to come up, so students and teachers began trickling back to government schools, and lawyers joined back work in government courts. Now, what happened means now this non-cooperation should be successful in the terms. To be successful, there should be what? There should be Indian institutions for what to be alternate for the British ones. So if there were Indian institutions, if there were Indian institutions, everyone would have gone to that Indian institution. But in that time, there were no Indian institutions. So slowly, everyone started to go to what British controlled institutions, and everyone started to go to their what to their work, and lawyers also joined back work. They also joined their work. Now what happened? Now in the moment the towns were failed. Now the peasants of Awadh done a movement. First, who started it? Baba Ramachandra. Who was he? He's an indentured labor returned from Fiji. What was his problem means beggar, free labor, so this Britishers, so not Britishers, this talukdars or landlords will not give them salary for their work. Now this talukdars and landlords asked high rent from them, and there was no job security for them. The peasants movement demanded for reduction in revenue, abolition of begar, and social boycott of oppressive landlords. Now what happened means Jawaharlal Nehru was traveling all over a country, India. Now what happened means he went to Awadh and understood the grievances of the people. Now we done an organization known as Awadh Kisan Sabha. This Baba Ramachandra and Jawaharlal Nehru in support of peasants. Now, what happened was the Sabha was a great hit that over 300 branches had been set up in the villages around the whole region. Now, the peasants' movement, however, developed in forms, but the Congress leadership was unhappy with it. And the peasants' movement and the Awadh Kisan Sabha turned violent. Like Mahatma Gandhi, Congress also wanted non-violence. As the movement and this organization started going violent, this Congress came out of the organization and the movement. So in the movement, this non-cooperation movement spread in whole 1921. The houses of talukdars were what? They were attacked and bazaars were looted. If you see here, the non-cooperation movement it started turning to a violent movement. So in many places, Mahatma Gandhi's name was if everyone is attacking or any firing, they will use Mahatma Gandhi's name. It was a very very fake news and very very bad news. Now, in how tribals saw the movement. So first, tribals are doing a movement where in GUDEM hills of Andhra Pradesh, the name is militant guerrilla movement. What was their problem? Unjust forest laws that restrict entry of tribals in forest, and then they want beggar from government. Now, how did the movement in the GUDEM hills, the non-cooperation movement in GUDEM hills, turned violent? Because of Alluri Sitaram Raju. He came to the movement and he said that he was a recreation of the god. Now, what did he do? Means he said that you follow whatever Mahatma Gandhi said, but do it violently. The Alluri Sitaram Raju said. So everyone started doing it violently. So everyone started killing Britishers, and they also started attacking police stations. Now, what happened means at last Raju was captured by the British officials and he was executed in 1924. Now, Swaraj in the plantation. Where it happened? In the tea plantation in Assam. Now, what was their problem? This plantation farmers' problem was this Inland Immigration Act of 1859. So, according to this act, no one, this plantation workers should not leave the plantation without the permission of the Britishers. Most probably, the British officials will not leave them, but we leaving that case, we are only talking about this Inland Immigration Act. According to this act, plantation workers couldn't leave without their permission. So this was a great problem of this plantation workers. When they heard the name of non-cooperation movement, they started leaving their work and went home without the permission of what? Without the permission of Britishers. Did they succeed? No, they did not succeed because they were caught up by the police and brutally beaten up. 8. When the tribals chanted Gandhi's name and raised slogans demanding Swatantra Bharat. So everyone started chanting, the whole India started chanting Swatantra Bharat. So when they're saying the name, they were emotionally relating to each other. When they acted in the name of Mahatma Gandhi or linked their movement to that of the Congress, they were identifying within a movement which went beyond the limits of the immediate locality. Now, what means the non-cooperation movement started going beyond the limits. So, a Chauri Chaura incident took place. At Chauri Chaura in Gorakhpur, a peaceful demonstration and a bazaar turned into a violent clash with the police. Hearing of the incident, Mahatma Gandhi called a halt to the non-cooperation movement. So we see here a peaceful demonstration was going in Chauri Chaura, but it turned into a violent clash with the police. So the movement turned violent. So because of this Chauri Chaura incident, Mahatma Gandhi what? He called off the non-cooperation movement. He said that people don't worry. I will call off the non-cooperation movement and come with a new movement. He said like that. So he started with a new movement. That is civil disobedience movement that we will be seeing in the next part of the video. So that's it. Thank you all. Like, share, and subscribe. Till I meet you in the next part. Bye bye.